All right, so it's day one of Hurricane Irma prep. It's kind of starting to hit now. Today couldn't get any worse with all that going on. The element overheated. It's just the cooling fan, which one of the electric fans died a while ago. I even checked to see if both were spinning or not. I think, or one instead of two. You see. I had the heat on. It didn't do any damage. I caught it in time. But yeah, one's working, one's not. But it's like 98 degrees today, and traffic's fucking crazy because of everybody running around like a maniac trying to get supplies. And that's what I'm doing. It's Tuesday at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They just put the whole county on an evacuation notice, Miami-Dade County. I live about 10-15 minutes away from the ocean, so I'm in like a medium risk flood zone. But everything's at or below sea level here, so this should be interesting. I don't have hurricane insurance. I couldn't afford it. It's way too expensive, and my house would need a lot of work to bring it up to spec for it to be covered. All my windows are not impact. I don't have any hurricane shutters. I have two. I'm not sure how long I'm going to stay in town, if I'm even going to stay in town. I'd like to. I really hate the idea of leaving my property unsupervised. If I would leave, I'd probably go up to like Orlando or something, which traffic's going to be absolutely brutal. I have to go at like the wee hours in the morning. All the vehicles. Let me talk about this as I button up here, because I want to. Even talking about this thing is still pretty fucking hot. But what am I gonna do? I'll run the heat, which is brutal. It's already about 98 degrees out here. You put the heat on, and so anyway, the vehicles. That's something I'm also very stressed out about. You guys know I have 8 or 9 vehicles here in Miami. For the cars, I applied today. It's called MVP. It's a program here in Miami-Dade that you can reserve a spot for when a hurricane. Well, it's first come, first serve. You have to get the pass first, which I just got approved for. I have to pick it up. Not gonna have time to get it today. It's all the way in like North Miami, but tomorrow I will. So I'm gonna get at least one spot in the city garage where I can park a car, which will probably be the Mustang, because it's not in the best of an area, but the Mustang has an alarm system. Plus it's pretty hard to steal. And look at this, beautiful. All the gas stations are crazy, and I'm almost out of gas. This is wonderful. So I'm gonna put that in the city garage. The buggy's gonna stay in the garage. And then I'm not really worried about the Grand Marquis. The truck I'm gonna keep with me if I evacuate, or even if I stay at home, I'm keeping the truck because I need something. And that's my toughest vehicle for sure. Everything else I'm gonna try to put in local parking garages that allow overnight and just pay. Some of them are like $12 for 24 hours, which isn't terrible. Sure as hell beats them getting destroyed by the weather. I don't have any coverage for any of that kind of damage. Board up the house, put all my patio furniture in my shed, which I guarantee you, if this hits as a Cat 5, my shed is gone. It's just a little cheap ash steel shed. I have cinder blocks holding it down. That thing is gonna obliterate. So I'll probably lose all my patio furniture. My house is 60 years old. It survived every hurricane's been thrown at it. So that makes me a little more confident, but my roof is a little bit old on the old side now. It's got about maybe 2 years of life left. Some shingles are starting to loosen up, so I'm sure I'm gonna at the very least lose some shingles. The fascia boards I replaced recently, they're secure, but Cat 5, I don't care how secure your shit is, that roof is gonna be partially damaged if not removed. The rest of the house is concrete block, so I know the structure will be sound, but if I lose even part of the roof and water's getting in, I have wood floors, obviously drywall, so I'm gonna have a lot of damage. Hoping that's not the case. So anyway, I'm gonna go now back home and start preparing. Gotta find gas first. So I'm here at the gas station. Check this out. There's a line behind this SUV too. And I gotta gas up 8 more cars after the element. Okay, this is the most important vehicle for me to gas up, my truck, because this is my my way out of here if things get rough. And you can see all the gas stations are running out of gas. I got lucky with the last one down the street, but too much traffic, trying to fight my way back to that one. I think this one might be totally out too. So I found gas for the truck. This is definitely the most important fill up, because this is like the one vehicle I'm counting on to get out of here if I end up sticking around and shit gets too rough, or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna take the truck. Here at the gas station again, the mobile I had luck with last time. My house is literally without traffic. I don't know, 3 minutes that way. It took me like 25 minutes to get here, and I gotta wait in line. I'm gonna fill up the bullet here, the vehicle number 3, and then I'm gonna come back with whatever I choose to bring next. The Fiero, fortunately, I filled the tank on yesterday. Just out of coincidence, not because of the storm. So, yeah, fuck off, buddy. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm losing track of how many cars I've gassed up. Now I'm doing the Roadmaster, did the Bullet before that, did the truck before that, and the Element at first. You can see this is the pump I've been using, and now it's out of 87 and 89. We're down to 93, which sucks. So that just happened in a few minutes because I ran the Mustang home and came a different route. It didn't involve any traffic, so you can see I'm just sitting here now trying to get to the pump. So I just did the 240, spoiled her. I had to put 93 in until I got left. And you can see the line for gas. That's not traffic, that far left lane. That's the line for gas, because the other 2 lanes are moving. I have a feeling this station's gonna run out very shortly. I'm gonna try to come back now with the Trofeo. And I think that's, no, I got the Grand Marquis after that. So Trofeo next, Grand Marquis last. All right, I've got the old Trofeo out. It's still doing that belt tensioner noise shit. It doesn't do it as badly in neutral, but if I throw it in drive, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's a bunch of rattling. So this, good thing I brought this down before the Grand Marquis. It's almost empty. Now the reason I'm gassing all these up, I don't intend obviously on driving any of these, during the storm if I stay. But I figure tomorrow or Thursday when I start putting these cars in parking garages, I'm going to be spending a lot of time idling and driving around trying to find a garage I can get the car into. So I want the tanks full for that. I don't have to worry about it. Stuck spending all this money, but I don't want to be stuck tomorrow and the car's out of gas and the gas stations are out of gas and I can't put it in a parking garage. So getting them done. Look at this shit. This is fucking Miami. It's usually pretty close to this crazy, but the hurricane's not helping. Nice. Oh, so I just filled the tank, the Grand Marquis. I'm fucking like losing my voice. All I've been breathing in is gas fumes for the past 2-3 hours doing this shit. Literally about 3 hours. I think I started doing this at, like 4 o'clock. It's fucking 7:13. It's insane. So I'm done. The Fiero's already got a full tank. Buggy's not leaving the garage. Done gassing up cars at least. Now I gotta go to Home Depot. I think I'm gonna put the shutters I do have on first. And then once that's done, then I'll go to Home Depot and get all the plywood that I need. So I'm sure you just saw the footage I took. I'm at the Home Depot closest to my house. This obviously isn't gonna work. I went up and talked to a few folks. They've been waiting here all morning, which makes sense. This is a very high population area. So I've decided, instead of waiting out here for 3-4 hours in the rain, and there might not even be any plywood left by the time I'm done, I'm gonna drive up north. I've got a full tank. I'm gonna drive up north toward Broward or maybe even West Palm Beach if I have to, which is quite the drive, but they're not supposed to get hit until later, like probably Monday or Tuesday. And also less populated area. And yeah, so I'm hoping that will work. It seems to make more sense than waiting around here. Hopefully I'll maybe see something along the way that will be closer, that will have plywood. But this Home Depot is definitely a no-go. You can see the gas lines are still crazy today. I'm glad I filled all my, that's one thing I'm glad I got done yesterday, is filled up all my cars. Well, I think I just did something that's gonna work. Little trick, I guess. I went into the Home Depot here in Miami Gardens. They're actually out of plywood. They're waiting for a truck, and they're saying it could be hours from now. There's people sitting there fucking camping out. So I'm like, you know what? While I'm here, why don't I walk around and see what other options there are? Because it's South Florida. A lot of people are too stupid to think outside the box. So I went to the roofing section. They've got all this sheet metal shit. It's a little bit thicker than sheet metal. I wouldn't say it's the most durable stuff in the world, but honestly, you got a piece of plywood versus this, they're probably about the same strength. This is gonna flap around a little bit more in the wind. Shit will do the job. It was fucking $3 more a sheet than plywood. And if anything, if this stuff works, it's reusable. Plywood, I mean, it gets all nasty afterwards. You have to store it outside. I could use this shit for shutters again if it works, or I could use it for a million other applications. Everybody, as I'm walking out of the store, pushing through the lines of people, everybody's going, where'd you get that? It's a great idea. That's better than plywood. It's gonna last, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I fucking bought every sheet of it. So I've got like 8 sheets here, and that should be enough to cover the majority of my windows. I might leave 1 or 2 uncovered, but I can always try a different Home Depot for more. So, and I got a receipt. If I find something better, or if I find plywood later, I can return all this shit. So, anyway, that's the scoop. I'm gonna go home and test fit it. Woo, wait. Micah, expert metal worker over here.
Flirting with temptation, falling helplessly. There's just one solution to this mystery.
So we're here in here in Miami Beach. We're getting a last look at Miami Beach before it is underwater. Damn, look at this shit. This is crazy.
Right, you didn't die from the hurricane, you're like, you don't want to drink it all.
We're on Ocean Drive. I have a bit of a problem here with the truck. I don't know if I'm gonna fit. Oh shit. Alright, it's the day after Irma. I'm heading back to Miami. I'm very excited to go home. My neighbor said everything is okay on my street, but look at this. If you don't pay attention, the whole lane just disappears. And this is West Palm. Miami was even worse. So I gotta keep my eyes on the road. Look at the fucking train gates. They blew right off. And the lights are flashing. I don't know if there's actually a train coming or what. This guy in the DeVille. Alright, moment of truth. Pulling up to my house now. Here's Lemmy's house. He did okay. Jose did okay. Let's see, I got a branch down. Hey, look at that. That tree. My beautiful little rose tree. It's dead. Looks like I did okay. Even my carports are still standing. That I find hard to believe. I thought for sure I was going to lose those. It looks all right. God damn it, I just fucking planted these in February. Oh shit, we lost the roof tile. Good thing I put those shutters up. You guys are calling me crazy. Fuck. Oh, my shit stayed put. You know what, I spent $400 on these trees. Oh no, my shed! Where the fuck did that? I knew that was gonna happen. Where the hell did it... Holy shit, the thing fucking... It's gone. What the fuck? What? Where gone? It's fucking gone. I don't even know what to say. There's not even a panel left. It's totally gone. Shed is gone, so gone. Look at that. This was bolted. There was a 3-inch screw going into the wall, ripped right out like that. I even want to look in the side. From what I can see so far, this is the worst of my damage. It's not that bad. Just some leaking here in the front. Looks like I never even touched the floor. So I'm standing here in my backyard. This is where my shed was. I just climbed up on these pallets, and there it is. Somehow it ended up in my neighbor's yard, almost in one piece. Oh, geez, this is wobbly. Look at that. I'm lucky it didn't do any damage to his house. How am I gonna get that out of there? Picking up the first of my many cars I put away into parking garages. The Roadmaster is here. Looks to be okay. I tucked it right in the middle. What the fuck is this? Oh, it's a cobweb. It's very dirty. You can tell that the salt water from the hurricane.
Yeah,
Look at this shit.
this is fucking terrible.
I'm sorry. I don't want
Look
to.
at this tree that went down.
That's not my business. I don't want
Look
to.
at how
rule or
bad it is on
conquer.
Miller.
I should like to help everyone.
So honestly, it's the worst I've seen for a main road.
Yeah.
And I've been out here for a while. Just picked up my 240 here. Then we're gonna pick up my truck and the Grand Marquis. This is 67th Avenue. Look at this. Unbelievable. Main Street, came to get through it. It's been the case. Miller Drive, you guys saw, was a mess. I got Mike behind me in my 240. We're going to round up as many cars as we can, get them home, get them safe. Don't forget we'll get through this way. I got Mike behind me now in the Grand Marquis when I picked it up in Coral Gables. Coral Gables is a mess. We can get through here. It's going to be tricky. Oh, don't scrape, Buick. All right, we're here in the Gables. And we just picked up my truck, and that's it for picking up cars for now. Mustang's downtown. Maybe I'll get that one later. So I'm out here at night. Look at this. Prime example. You cannot see shit. There's no power in most of Miami. You're driving down the street. My truck's headlights suck. And look at that. And next thing you know, there's a fucking tree in the middle of the road. Still a lot more clearing to do. If you guys are still out there, be safe. So today's Wednesday. The storm hit Sunday. I've been pretty busy just cleaning up the mess that it left. I'm doing all right overall. You can see the shed situation hasn't been remedied yet. I got the shed back over from my neighbor's yard in pieces. I can salvage it. It's gonna take some time to unbend the metal and kind of see my bushes. I bungee corded them back up to the fence to get them growing, get the roots growing straight again, and I had to cut them down a couple of feet to once again encourage the trees to grow straight instead of slanted. It kind of sucks. I have to look at my neighbor's dump ass house. I used to have a tree. You can see where the fence is all crumpled up right there. Used to be a beautiful tree there in my neighbor's yard, and you couldn't even see their house because of it, which I loved. And now that tree is gone. It fell, so I have to look right at their house, which at least theirs is pretty. But still, I had a lot more shade back here and stuff. But I've got everything set back up to how I had it before. I've got all my shutters off, the homemade shutters. I apologize for the small Snapchat videos. I wasn't planning on making, originally I started making this video to do of the hurricane, but I became so busy, you know, getting ready to get out of here and get my house boarded up that I stopped doing both the YouTube video and Snapchat. I just did Snapchat just for friends and family to see what was going on. And I decided I didn't want to actually complete this video, so much of it is Snapchat clips, so I apologize for that. I know it's kind of shitty to watch, but it doesn't really do any justice just how bad the damage was here. We didn't even get hit directly. When I started making the video last Tuesday, they were projecting we were hit with a Cat 5 or a Cat 4, and what happened was the storm ended up going west. Now, I had left here Thursday. I had booked a hotel out in Sarasota, Florida, because at that time, the storm was still heading to the East Coast as a Cat 4. So I went to Sarasota to kind of take shelter. Again, I figured my house would do okay. I was kind of worried about the roof, but my main reason for leaving was not having power for an unknown amount of time, and I have a cat and a dog, and I didn't want us to all be dying in here with the heat. So that's why I went to Sarasota. Well, I went there, and I find out Friday midday that the storm changed direction to the West Coast. So I stayed there Friday night, and then I left and checked out, and unfortunately I got all my money back for the remaining stay I didn't stay for, and I went to West Palm Beach, where you saw in the video I stayed with a friend there who has a very well-built house and a generator. And West Palm, even the predictions were saying was going to get spared from the bands of the storm. Now, what ended up happening here in Miami is that we got the outer bands of the hurricane, but they still had Cat 2 and Cat 3 force winds. The gusts were over, we had gusts of 120 mile an hour winds here. So the damage was very bad. We still don't, I have power because I lived right next to, I'm sure you've seen in my videos, there's a hospital literally a street over from me, and we share the same line. So we did lose power here. I wasn't here. My neighbors were keeping me updated through text. And they told me that we did lose power here, but it came back on Sunday night, right as the storm ended, for the hospital, obviously, which does have generators, but you want to still have your main source of power. So it's only my street. It has my street and the street the hospital on that have power. I'd say still about 85% of Miami, this is Wednesday again, doesn't have power. Remember, I had this window boarded up with plywood, 3/4 inch plywood. And still, just because of these openings in the rafters, look at all the shit that blew in all over the buggy. That's the top to the carport I put on top of the interior to protect it. I never imagined we'd get this dirty in here. I've cleaned up the majority of the yards that I've been doing for the past 2 days. I still have to put the tents back up. The framing actually, as you saw when I pulled in here, stayed intact, which is remarkable. I thought for sure I was going to lose it or something was going to happen to it, but I just didn't have the time to take it all down. But mind you, there's about 1,000 pounds of concrete on this one alone holding it down. Each bucket's 100 pounds. So I guess this pipe up here popped out, but you can see I have most of the cars back. The Fiero and Trofeo are still in a certain garage. It's not open yet. You still can't even get through most of my neighborhood. There's still trees everywhere. You have to zigzag out. The main road still, most of the traffic lights don't have power, and there's police directing traffic. So it was a pretty bad hit here overall, but I'm very grateful that my house didn't get hit too hard. Some of you who watch my videos a lot probably remember this tree used to be a beautiful blooming rose tree or whatever it was, and it's bare now. But it was a hard-hitting storm. You can see all the roof tiles my neighbor lost. But we did okay. We were a lot more fortunate than Key West and Naples and even Miami Beach, which isn't too far from here. Miami Beach is still closed, as far as I know. Just like the Keys. The Coast Guard doesn't let anybody in. I have friends who have family in the Keys. I still haven't heard from them because there's no cell service. Cell service here has been terrible. Some towers got pretty beat up. But yeah, overall I did pretty good. One of the benefits of where my house is, there's not that many trees. You go this way east and there's a lot more trees as you approach downtown, more historic neighborhoods. And I mean, there's just, the destruction is 10 times worse. Every house got hit with trees, broken windows, cracked concrete, damaged roof. There's a few roofs that actually blew off. A long video, but I figured you guys would be interested. I had some YouTubers who follow me reach out to me on YouTube and say, hey, you all right? What are you doing with the cars? So I figured to make an interesting video, but car content coming back soon. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching.